Today we're going to have a look at a couple very similar watches. We're going to be comparing the Omega Speedmaster Professional moonwatch, here we have on the right, with the Omega Speedmaster Reduced. We're going to take a look at some of the similarities between these two watches, some of the differences, some of the pricing, and also the history. Before we compare some of the physical characteristics of these watches, let's talk briefly about the history. Omega introduced the original Speedmaster in 1957, and the watch was intended for automotive racing. But it became NASA's official certified watch for space travel and is most recognized as the first watch worn on the moon. The Speedmaster Reduced was first introduced in 1988 as a smaller and more affordable version of the Speedmaster that was intended for more of a consumer market rather than professional use. The line was updated in 2006 with a sapphire crystal and also a redesigned dial, but the collection was discontinued in 2009. At first glance, the Speedmaster Professional and Speedmaster Reduced look like very similar watches, almost identical. But when you take a closer look, you notice some of the key detail differences that really set these watches apart. Let's start off with the most obvious difference, which would be the size. The Speedmaster Professional has a case size of 42 millimeters, while the Speedmaster Reduced has a case size of 39 millimeters. At 39 millimeters, the Speedmaster Reduced is a very standard sports size watch, but it is smaller than the Professional. The next major difference that we see is the subdials. Notice that the subdials are very near the center. They don't touch the minute track or the hour markers really. They're right at the edge there. While on the Speedmaster Reduced, they come all the way out to the minute track and they actually cut off some of the hour markers. You see the 4 o'clock marker here is a lot longer than the 3 o'clock marker here. Another difference in the subdials of these watches is the way they operate. The minute subdial and the running seconds are actually swapped on the Speedmaster Reduced. So you'll see here on the Professional we have the running seconds at the 9 o'clock position and the minute counter at the 3 o'clock position. Over on the Reduced, we have the running seconds at the 3 o'clock position and the minute counter at the 9 o'clock position. There's not really a difference in functionality, I guess it's just more of a personal preference. While the case of the Speedmaster Reduced is smaller than the Professional, they're very similar. It's almost like it's a shrunken down version of the case design. Has the same twisted lugs, has the same shape, and has the same feel. Both of these watches have the black dial and black bezel, which is the most common in the traditional look that you think of when you think of the Speedmaster, but both models do come in other variations. The hands of both of these models are very similar, however they're not identical. You notice the hands on the Speedmaster Professional are the stick markers with lume, and it also has a little bit of lume in the tip of the seconds hand. The Speedmaster Reduced has the same hands, just a little bit smaller. They have the lume on the hour and minute hand, but the second hand doesn't have any lume. It's just tapered and painted all the way to the end. You'll also notice that the Speedmaster Reduced has Arabic numerals printed in 5-minute increments all the way around the dial, while the Professional just has the lumed stick markers in all the hour positions. The Speedmaster Reduced is also lacking the 2 lumed dots on either side of the 12 o'clock stick marker that you find on the Speedmaster Professional. The Speedmaster Professional incorporates a manual wind integrated chronograph movement that measures up to 12 hours with a tachymeter bezel. However, there are other Professional Speedmaster models available with an automatic movement. The Speedmaster Reduced features an automatic winding, ETA-based modular movement. Like the Speedmaster Professional, it measures up to 12 hours with a tachymeter bezel. The Omega Speedmaster Professional was available from 1957 to the present. Since this watch was first introduced, Omega has always manufactured the Speedmaster Professional with slight differences between generations. The Professional watches are readily available either brand new or on the secondary market. The first Speedmaster Reduced was released in 1988 and was updated in 2006, gaining a sapphire crystal and a redesigned dial. It was produced all the way up until 2009 when the collection was discontinued. Omega still makes other smaller size Speedmaster watches, but they are not the official Reduced models. So if you're looking for an Omega Speedmaster Reduced, your only option is to pick one up on the secondary market. One final difference between these two watches that has nothing to do with their look or functionality is the pricing. The Speedmaster Professionals generally go for quite a bit more money than the Speedmaster Reduced. So if you're in the market for a Speedmaster and you're looking to save some money, the Reduced is a fantastic option. Today we had a look at a couple great Omega Speedmasters. Hopefully this video pointed out a few of the key differences between these two watches. So as always, like and subscribe for more reviews, comparisons, and how-to guides.